we've got together again for this global collaboration meeting. It's been a few months since we met, and I have a very important issue that I've put on the agenda that I hope we can discuss, which is employee retention. And a good jumping off point to talk about this issue is Tony. Everybody knows that Tony recently left for another job, and we're all very disappointed. We put a lot of time and effort into training Tony. He was a star employee, and now he's gone. But through the exit interview process, we learned some things that we can examine to help improve the organization so that we don't have to continually hire new people and train them. So in Tony's exit interview, he talked about how at 1 year with the department, he asked for a transfer to another team because he had been told he would be a more promotable candidate if he had a broad experience throughout the department and worked on many different teams. And he didn't even hear back about his request for a transfer until a full another year. And at that time, he was given an offer to transfer to the enforcement team, and he was super excited. That was where he wanted to go, and he was going to grow and develop. Now, usually when existing employees transfer to a new team, they're not offered any particular formal training. They usually just go to the team and are mentored by a lead, do some shadowing, get some feedback on their work, and learn that way, which works fine. But because of our retention issues, our team leads have been reluctant to accept transfers because they're constantly training new people and they're very overwhelmed. So Tony had this opportunity to join a training for a new hire class that was preparing these new hires after their initial basic training to go to enforcement. And he was just so thrilled. But then he found out that this training class had to stay till 5 p.m. and he was leaving at 4:30. He had to pick up his children. And it was too short notice, he couldn't get anybody to pick up his children. So he made a request, hey, can I stay till 4:30, and I'm an existing employee, I have 2 years of experience with the department, and just study what I need to on my own at home? And he showed some initiative. But of course we said, no, look, you want to do this, so you make the adjustment, and you stay to 5 if you want it. And he had to back out. He continued to put in requests for transfer, but another year went by, and they weren't honored, and he went for promotion. And he was a superstar. Such a good employee. He was among one of the final candidates, but he was passed over. Then when he went to his feedback session, he said, well, Tony, you would have had the job, but you need to get broader experience in the department. Well, that was really his last straw, and now he's left us. So we're all tired of these retention issues. We're tired of spending the money and time training people just to have them leave somewhere else. And we need to figure out how to foster people to grow where they're planted right here in our department to make roots. That's what we really need. And in order to do that, we need to engage our employees. And what is employee engagement exactly? Scarlet surveys define employee engagement as a measurable degree of an employee's positive or negative emotional attachment to their job, manager, colleagues, and the organization that profoundly influences their willingness to stay on the job, learn, and perform well at work. So what does employee engagement look like in an average workforce? What percentage of employees have that emotional buy-in at their job? A 2010 worldwide survey by Towers Perrin found that only 20% of the workforce feels engaged in their job. And that's kind of a depressing statistic, but it's a big opportunity for us to do better so we can keep these people in our organization. Towers Perrin Group also identified 3 drivers to engagement that we need to look at and figure out how to foster and improve in our department. They're autonomy, mastery, and purpose. Employees just feel happy if they have some control over their destiny, if they're empowered to make decisions, if they have the knowledge to make decisions, if they have choices. We might have kept Tony had we given him the autonomy to study on his own. He had proven time and time again in the 2 years with the department that he had what it takes. Now, mastery, in order to feel competent and confident at their work, employees need to be afforded training and education and experience. And we didn't give that to Tony. And finally, employees need a sense of purpose. And to have a sense of purpose, they need to feel like they have somewhere to go within an organization, not like they're locked in and stymied. Now, I passed around the Gallup 12 survey, which lists some predictors of engagement. And there's just a few I want to touch on where we failed Tony. I have someone who encourages me at work. Tony felt stymied here. He didn't feel encouraged. In the past 7 days, I have received recognition or praise for doing good work. In his exit interview, Tony expressed that he rarely had interaction with his direct supervisor, and he even tried to have an interview with that person regarding his request for transfer. At work, my opinions are heard and seen to count. So Tony's opinion that he would do fine in enforcement with most of the training missing just half an hour a day, it wasn't taken into account. And in the last 6 months at work, someone has talked to me about my progress, direction, future, and purpose. When Tony left, he told us he hadn't had an employee evaluation for 2 years. So we need to closely look at our organization and develop an engagement and retention plan. That means we need to give staff autonomy. We need to allow them to master their job through training and education. And we need to imbue them with a sense of purpose. They know that they have a career with us, that they're going somewhere, that they're not going to be held back. Can we all agree not to lose any more Tonys? I look forward to working with you all on improving this and improving employee engagement in the department. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Sounds like a progressive company. Companies I know, observed do that. You know, they encourage their employees and then they sort of fall back on that as time goes by, and they have to keep looking at how they're doing, I think, to encourage their employees to stay, do good. All right. Please write an evaluation for Jennifer. Give you a minute.
Visiting hours for adult services are over in 10 minutes. Thank you for your cooperation.
All right, 10 seconds. All right. Now, it's time to vote.
Time
Time to vote. Vote for the best met speech objective.
Timer's report first.
Oh, yes. Oh, you don't have that down here, do I? I don't do this often. Now tell us the time.
Jeffrey spoke for 6 minutes and 24 seconds, and Jennifer spoke for 6 minutes and 51 seconds, so they both qualify on time.
while you vote, I'll talk a little bit about Harvard University. Harvard University became established in 1636 by the vote of the Great and General Court of Massachusetts Bay Colony. It was named after the college's first benefactor, a young minister named John Harvard of Charleston. And upon his death, he left his library and half his estate to the institution. It started with 9 students and 1 teacher, and now it has more than 20,000 degree candidates and 360,000 alumni all over the